Today's final livery redesign is sponsored by Squarespace. Someone should definitely do like a mint and almost prancing horse shape here. Someone should definitely Photoshop that. I haven't got minted in a video for a while, so I feel like it's long overdue. Say bye, mate. Say bye. I can't quite believe it, but we are finally here. Livery 10 of 10. 10 redesigns, 10 videos filmed, edited, put out to the world. And feedback's been great. Thank you all for the support. Like, whether you've liked what I've done, whether you've no one's gonna like every single livery I make, because again, these things are subjective. But yeah, I do massively appreciate it. We're here at the final one. It's the Ferrari. Before we get into my redesign, what are my initial thoughts on the livery? In a word, actually in 2 words, not great. Let's start with the positives. What do I like about it? Well, I love the new nose, but it's much more aesthetically pleasing than the thick nose we've become used to at Ferrari. I like that they've kept the black on the halo. I think that's nice. I quite like the numbering. I like the font. It's kind of a bit different to usual. I don't mind that. I like the fact that it's red, because red's my favourite colour. And the elephant in the room, the green Mission Winnow. I said this on Twitter already. The likelihood of Mission Winnow actually being on the car for any actual races is incredibly unlikely. It wasn't on the car for any races last year, and it wasn't for a lot of races in 2019. I think they've made it green to draw attention to it so that we're all talking about it, and then they'll just take it off the car when the season actually starts. So that's marketing for you. Then on to the things I don't like about it. I don't like the matte finish. I think that really doesn't work. It just makes the car look like a toy. The way they've implemented the burgundy at the back, just that cut off is way too sharp. If they were to gradient that more gradually, I think that'd work a lot nicer. I don't understand why the Mission Winnow branding on the rear wing is black on burgundy. You can barely see it. MissionWinnow.com on the front wing end plates is so small you can barely read it because it's so wide. I mean, other than that, it's pretty much identical. There's not been a huge amount of creativity expended here for the car. I always look at the Ferrari and it's like, it's not really a livery, it's just a red car with loads of sponsors on it. But to be fair, you look at a lot of classic liveries. You look at the 91 Ferrari, for example, which is one of my favourite liveries of all time. That is just a red car with a black front and rear wing and logos, but it just looks amazing. So it doesn't need to be super complicated to be a good livery, but for me, this isn't it. Now, rating this livery relative to the others on the grid, I'm not sure yet. I'm holding off on doing my livery tier list or ranking or whatever until we've actually seen them in testing, because some of the renders look shocking. The AlphaTauri, for example, renders look shocking, but on track, very, very nice. So I want to see him in the flesh. But anyway, let's jump into Assetto Corsa and see what I've come up with. First and foremost, the base colour. Obviously, it's red. Okay, I'm not going to join the yellow. I mean, we play around the colours at the end, right? We always do. Base is red. I've gone for a brighter red and a lighter red than they currently use. Maybe it's because of the matte finish, but the current red that they use, I just think's a bit stale. So I've gone with a glossy finish. Again, brighter red. Screams Ferrari. Make it as red as possible. That's the way I see it. But unlike the real car, this isn't just red with bits of black. I've implemented some white. So if you look at the front angle, there's quite a lot of white. And again, the classic 2006 Ferrari, for example, plenty of white on it. I really like having the white. I like having the white details. But also, if you go from the side, there's barely any white. And again, this is kind of, I like what Renault did with their livery, where it was very yellow from the top and not very yellow from the side. Just, I don't know, there's something about that I found quite cool. I have blocked out quite a lot of the car with the carbon fibre, and again, I've kept the carbon fibre halo as well. So there is a bit more black on it than there is on the actual car. But I think with the logos added, it comes out a treat. All right, before I show you any more, now's the perfect time to talk about today's video sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace are continuing to support me, and for that I am incredibly grateful. They help you build websites. It's a service I've been using for years, so I've got absolutely no qualms promoting what they do to you wonderful people. Now, I know there's a lot of budding motorsport writers, journalists, bloggers out there, and sure, you can use every social media under the sun to spread what you're talking about, but tying everything back to your very own website is a no-brainer. And Squarespace makes it super easy to build a proper swish looking website, your little online home. So if you are interested in finding out more, pop over to squarespace.com for a totally free trial, nothing to lose. And once you've built something decent, use the code TOMMOF1 or give the link in the top line of the description a tap and bag yourself 10% off your first website or domain. Thanks again, Squarespace. Now let's see what I've done to this Ferrari. Boom. What are we saying? What do we think? Right. Let's start at the front of the car. I've kept the sponsors here pretty much the same. The font of the 55, I've gone with Carlos Sainz's 55, is pretty similar to on the actual car. I actually really like what they've done, but I think a skewed font always works better on a racing car. The nose I've tapered in a bit. Again, this model has the thick nose. I can't change that, unfortunately. And then, yeah, front wing, we've got white, we've got black, we've got V-Power on the front, we've got a bit of red there, Weichai. And then around to the side. So you see what I said about missionwinnow.com. I don't understand why it's on the front wing end plate when it could be up here, and then you move the Mission Winnow logo onto that. That just fits that space so much nicer. Come around to the side, OMR and Ferrari logo are the same place, Kaspersky's same place as well. Shell, UPS, Ray-Ban, I've kept identical. Again, I want to keep this in the realms of realistic possibility. I think with Ferrari, actually, I might be wrong here, but I believe that Philip Morris actually owned the rights to the livery and not Ferrari. I think, I could be wrong, but I think that's a thing. But anyway, yeah, so I've kept that the same. I've brought these logos a bit later on, rather than being right underneath the shell, just to make shell sing a bit more. Richard Mille up here. Ferrari, my trademark, I always seem to put the engine manufacturer logo here, a lot of the time anyway. So I've done that here as well. I think there's no Ferrari logo on the car, like the text Ferrari logo. So I've implemented that. Mission Winnow is in pretty much exactly the same place, 55 there. And then we come over to the top, Mission Winnow again with .com up there. Again, I think that fits that space quite nicely, and having that on white I think looks pretty cool. Weichai here, that's all good. And then we come around to the back, and I've gone, rather, because there's enough Mission Winnow on this car, stick Ferrari on the back. Come on, that looks sick. Come around to the other side, everything works just as well as far as I'm concerned as well. And yeah, that's it. I'm happy with that. That's cool. But of course, we've got to play around with things. First of all, let's try it out with matte and see how that looks. All right, here we go. Full satin matte red. I mean, it looks cool in the model, but I don't think in real life it would pop as much as it is. I mean, I do think this red in matte does pop. Yeah, I definitely think I prefer the gloss. Let's try different colours. Let's go with the burgundy actually. I mean, again, that looks nice. It doesn't look very Ferrari, if you ask me. I guess the actual one was slightly darker, wasn't it? But okay. I mean, that's cool. How about, everyone talks about Ferrari yellow being a thing. How would that actually look? You know what, like, they'd never do it. They'd never do it because they're way too attached to that red. But in yellow, tell you what, that is some bumblebee, man. That looks sick. That actually looks well decent in yellow. Ferrari have actually raced in blue in Formula 1 before. I think it was something to do with Enzo being annoyed about something. And again, I mean, there's enough blue cars on the grid. There's more than enough blue cars on the grid. So we definitely don't need another one, but it's okay. What about a nice dark grey? Yeah, I mean, that's cool. Like, the Shell logo really pops on this, actually. I usually don't like the fact that these are coloured out, but with a black car, if they went grey, that would be, what a test livery that would be. That would be so sick. Again, pretty decent. Can have a lot of fun with these colours for sure, man, definitely. All right, back to normal. Red, for me, still the best. So there we have it. That's my take on the 2021 Ferrari. Images on screen now, comparing what we've actually got to what we could have had, maybe. It's been a pleasure. These have been very good fun, but I'm looking forward to, I might take a week off after this maybe, because it has been very intense getting all these videos done. But it's been a pleasure. I'm not complaining in any way, shape or form. What I will do is, when I eventually do my livery ranking, tier list or whatever, I will make sure all of these liveries are prepped and ready and put on race department. So if you do play Assetto Corsa, you will be able to download all of these, all 10 of them for yourself. I'll make sure I do that, and I'll put that in the video. Thank you very much again to today's video sponsor, Squarespace. And for the final time in these livery redesign videos, my name's been Tommo. Thanks again. Have a good one. Ta-da.